Hello friends, now this is our 17th class on the same subject, an apology for poetry by Sir Sidney. Now in the last class, you remember I told you we were talking about the objections, the critics, my so that is poet haters. What are their arguments against poesy in general, and also LG, lyric, comedy, tragedy and so on, heroic and so on. So in the last class we saw that the objection, rhyming and versing, that we have knocked down, isn't it? Mercilessly knocked down and successfully also. And now today we have got two more points to discuss, altogether four, but today we will discuss 2 points of these poet haters. One is, they say that there are more fruitful knowledge in the world than poesy. That's the thing. So the second one, first one is, you have seen, what is the first one? Rhyming and versing. And second one is, there are more fruitful knowledge. More fruitful knowledge than poesy. Okay, who is against it? You can go for that. Anybody can go for that. But Sidney says that this is a case of pettere principium. Pettere principium. Pettere principium. That means the beginning of the question about the origin. Egg or chick. That's the thing. Whether egg comes first or chick comes, or chick first or egg first. That's called, you are finding out pettere principium, beginning the question. Mango or the mango tree. Understand that? It's like that. So, this pettere principium, this beginning the question is. So we say, no, poetry, but he says that, how can you say that? Because best of knowledge, we can say one is history and the other is philosophy. According to this poet haters or poet reapers, we can say like that. But both don't move. What can move is, that's the point, Longinus, move, transport you to action, move you to action, that is only poesy. Understand? Therefore, it is better than history and better than philosophy. That's what it is. Therefore, he says, no. And also another point we can say, no. Good is not good, therefore better is better. It is just like saying that. Good is not good, therefore better is better. There is no logic in that. Understand? If the poet is not good, and therefore this philosophy is better or history is better. There is no logic in that. A reasonable person will not argue like that. This is something that we have to consider. And so conclusively, Sir Philip Sidney says that, but I still and utterly deny. But I still, you can take this notation, you can use it in exam papers. But I still, and utterly deny that there is sprung out. I still and utterly deny that there is sprung out. I still and utterly deny that there is sprung out of earth a more useful knowledge. Sprung out of earth a more useful knowledge. So with this we can conclude this. With this we can say. So if people say that more fruitful knowledge than poesy, we can compare philosophy and we can compare history, then we can very well say that both don't move you to action. History is forensic material, many times I have told you. And philosophy is obscure. You start reading philosophy halfway through your life. But on the other hand, this one is from the beginning. And not only, there's no point in arguing, no, good is not good, so better is better. No, there's no logic in that. Therefore, he concludes his reply to answer to this point is, first we saw that the rhyming and versing. Why it is useful for memory? You can memorize these lines, isn't it? There is some structure in that composition, and then we can see it adds beauty, and again it delights, isn't it? These are the and a versifier need not be just because you are a versifier, you are not a poet. If you are not if you are not a versifier, that does not mean that you are not a poet. That means already. What I am telling is correct. Just because you are a versifier, you are not a poet. Okay, that is clear. And if you don't versify, that doesn't mean that you are not a poet. If you don't versify, you are not a poet, right? Example is, yesterday you saw, long gown will not make you a lawyer, but if you plead in armor, that does not mean that you are not a lawyer. Am I clear? Have I made any mistake? Then you should point that out. Okay, in this case, but I still and utterly deny that there is sprung out of earth a more useful knowledge than poesy. That's understood. So this you can use as a quotation. Right? Yes. So I think that is answered. Second objection is also answered. We are on the way to a total defense, not partial defense. So we have been talking. But I must tell you one thing, that is, you should read the text. My lectures are not at all a substitute for this text. It is so beautifully written, so logically argued, and so philosophically explained, and so aesthetically delivered. As Bacon says of studies, some books are to be tasted, some are to be chewed and digested. So this essay is one such chewed and digested. Therefore, my dear students, I humbly request you, please go through each and every sentence and find out any reference they have left out. And then you enjoy this. This is an adventure. You go and more than that, this is the first critical essay written in English by an Englishman. You have seen, we have seen three before this. Aristotle we saw, Horace we saw, Longinus we saw, but this is the first by an Englishman. You must read. Students of English literature must read. Have a copy with you even when you are sleeping. That's what it is. Understand that? Yeah. Yes. Then the third point is that the poets are the principal liars. Principal liars. So first one is, we have seen rhyming and versing. Secondly, they are against that. And secondly, we saw that there are more fruitful knowledge in the world than poesy. Now third one is this one, principal liars. So of all writers under the poet is the last liar, least liar. That's what he said. Quotation: of all the writers in the world, the poet is the least liar. Why? That's the thing. Why? The poet is the least liar. Why? Because take physicians. How many times they make mistake? You read in the newspapers. I am not criticizing all the physicians. There may be many other contributory factors, but newspapers, you saw now, in certain hospitals, how many babies die. People who are admitted in the hospital, say casualty and so on, how many die? Then they make mistakes, diagnosis. It's human error. And Sir Sidney says that physicians give loads of dead bodies to Chiron. Chiron. You know who is Chiron? Chiron is the ferryman of Hades. Ferryman. Ferry means boatman in Hades. There is a river separating this world and the other world. Other world is the underworld. Underworld is Hades. So there is a river. Dead souls. See, let's say imagine like this. This is the river. Here it is Hades. Here it is earth. Then dead souls come and stand here on the banks of this river. And that river's name is Acheron. 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 So this is the river Acheron. And then here it is Hades and here it is earth. When people die, their souls wait here. Then Chiron comes with this boat and takes them to the other side. That means, simply it means, there are many people die and they have to go to the underworld. That is Hades. Simply that is. So, yeah, physicians lie, causing the death of many people. So, Chiron has plenty of load to carry to ferry across the river Acheron and then take them to Hades. That means many people die. Lawyers make mistakes. No? When we know that something and they lie also. We saw the murder of a person. Somebody can give the murder. But the lawyer can argue. That's why it is said, no, the lawyer can argue and save that person, the criminal. It is said, no, law is an ass. There is a saying. The law is an ass. That means you can do anything with law, provided you are an able lawyer. That is, the law is an ass. Physician, lawyer does mistake. So, historians, plenty of mistakes they make. So, if you read 5 books on history on the same subject, you will find there will be at least, I don't want to say number, but a few mistakes. There will be date. Newspapers make mistakes. So that is the newspaper. With all this modern technology, I shall show you how many mistakes you want me to show. See that? You remember once. And those people who write advertisements, they make mistakes. You know, once in the entrance of a hotel, an international hotel, it was written, they wanted to say that the water in this supplied in the hotel is pure. And it is examined by or passed by the manager himself. So it was written on the board there, entrance there, all the water in this hotel is personally passed by the manager. What does that mean? You know what it means. So you make mistakes. Teachers make mistakes. When the mistakes are lies. So what is that? See? Sometimes it happens that even communication is a problem. If you go, say, one day students, a guest came to the college and then he met the principal and he wanted to go to the bathroom. And then he asked the principal, please may I know where is the little girl's room? The little girl's room. Principal said, there is no room here for little girls, they are all adults, grown up people. Little girl's room actually meant the bathroom. See that? So that is in one dialect or one, in some certain area, a certain way is a WC, simply written WC. See that? Water closet, like that. So there, communication problem mistake is there. If you don't know, there's certain usage. So then can you say that he is a liar? No, you cannot say. And the principal says there no a little girl's room here, the principal is not lying. He doesn't know that. Doesn't know means he's not familiar with that. That's all. So physicians make so. Another point you should know is that physicians give boatload of dead bodies, dead souls to Charon to carry to the Hades. That means they make mistakes. Prescription, diagnosis, how many stages are there? See, in this case, please don't misunderstand me. I'm just explaining these things. I have nothing to do with, I don't know anything about physicians and so on, except that once upon a time, I worked as a clerk in Mahatma Gandhi Memorial Medical College, Indore. So that is my background. That much I know, that many departments, many doctors and so on I know. That is MGM Medical College, Indore. If you ever go to Indore, you can see that near to, attached to MY Hospital, Maharaja Yashwantrao Hospital. Now that's all the personal things, forget about that, brackets. Okay. So now I have about doctors, physicians make. So point, another point is, point, when can you tell a lie? When you affirm something or when you deny something. Isn't it? If you say that the sun rises in the west, if you say like that, you are affirming, it's a wrong lie. The sun sets in the east. That's a lie. Because you are affirming something. Or denying, suppose. You are denying. Suppose yesterday it rained. And then you say, no, yesterday it didn't rain. It didn't rain yesterday. That's a lie. So if you affirm or deny something, then you can say you are lying. Otherwise, that is not a lie. You understand that? Yeah. So, the poet doesn't affirm anything. The poet doesn't deny anything. Poet doesn't say that is there any poem that tells you should do this or that is wrong? No. There is nothing else like that. What the poet does is, the poet is, that should be or that should not be. That's the thing. Ought to be. What ought to be? That's what it is. How a king should be. Look at Cyrus. How a perfect, virtuous man should be. Look at Aeneas. You can imitate him. If you are a king or an emperor, you can imitate Cyrus. Understand? How a brave warrior should be. Achilles or Hector, both you can say. Isn't it? This is what you can do. And then again you can see the poets. Nathan the prophet, we have already seen, did not go to David and say, you are a sinner. But what did he say? He told a story. He said there is a certain man and he had only one lamb. There was another person. He was very rich. He had everything like that. And then the rich man stole or took away by force the only possession of that poor man, that lamb, killed it and made a feast and prepared a feast and gave it to the traveler. Then he understood. David understood. David came to know what has gone wrong with him. So he wept, fell down, and the Psalm of mercy, Psalm written on this mercy of God, that is what we got as a result of this. And he felt so sorry, he wept. He did penance. Nathan did not go and say that, hey, David, what nonsense you are doing? He did not say that. Aesop's fables, when you read, Aesop doesn't say that you have to do this. This is what the mute creatures who cannot speak, who has no ratio and ratio. Yesterday we had these two words. The animals, they don't have, they are mute, they cannot speak. They have neither ratio nor ratio. So this is what is happening. You are free to choose. That's what it is. So again you say that they tell lie. No, they are not telling lie. And in poesy what happens is, it's a lot of imagination. You write on a board, Thebes, and hang it on the stage. then that becomes thieves. Does the poet say lie? Tell a lie? No. He says you imagine that this is thieves. That's all. After some day you can forget about that. When you tell a lie, it's not like that. A lie, a deliberate lie is an intellectual act. This is only imagination. So we say, figuratively speaking, no? We say foot of the hill. Does the hill has foot? No. Eye of a needle. Does the needle has an eye? No. But figuratively we are speaking. Listen. The narration is an imaginative ground plot. The narration of a story, the fabula, is an imaginative ground plot. From there you can build up your actions. That's what it is. See? So he says, the poet had just said, comedies don't teach, but infect with amorous conceits. Again, this. Comedies don't teach, but comedies infect with love. Prem, love. Say amorous conceits. Not at all necessary. Most of the time you will find this amorous conceits turn out to be, conceits turn out to be their own follies and foibles. They are less understand this. They become aware of this. Understand? That is what happens. So you cannot say that comedies don't teach. They teach. Finally, you become aware of your situation. And then they say lyric is loaded with passion. Comedy is amorous conceit. Then lyric is loaded with passion. See? They are loaded with passion. He says, what's wrong? Suppose, and sonnets especially. Suppose you are in love with the lady. And you can write sonnets praising her beauty, praising her hairstyle, or her hair, her eyes, her nose. What's wrong with that? It's already established. You are not going and asking other person, come on, fill your heart with passions. No. Isn't it? Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? What's wrong? They know each other. So shall I compare thee to a summer's day? It's not wrong. And then taking the elegy. Elegy says, the poet here said, they mourn the death of their mistress. They mourn, weep the loss of their mistress. Oh, how narrow it is. Thomas, does he weep the loss of his mistress? Stockbridge's church, he speaks about this humble and simple people of the village. Not at all. This is actually what we must say is kind of nonsense. And they say heroic. Even in heroic, Cupid has infiltrated. Cupid means love. Cupid, the god of love. He has infiltrated. He says. So as already we have seen, what's wrong with that if they are a hero and the heroine, they are in love. They have already loved, so we need not make them fall in love. There's nothing wrong with that. This is their minds negatively loaded, so they can't see the positivity. But then at the same time, very reasonable Philip Sidney says that who is to be blamed if you abuse something? Abuse something. Poetry does not abuse. But what abuses is man's wit. Man's wit. And he gives examples. You see. A painter can paint Abraham sacrificing his son, only son, Isaac. A painter can do that. So that teaches. There is some teaching is there. Isn't it? A painter can do that. Or a painter can paint David defeating Goliath. Isn't it? Or Judith killing Holofernes. In the book of Deuteronomy, it is given. Nebuchadnezzar. That is the name of the king. See, I made mistake in pronunciation. Just now I told you, teachers make mistakes, physicians make mistakes. Nebuchadnezzar. That is the name of the king. His general, Holofernes, the invading general. So Judith kills. You can paint that. So good things you can paint. Also the painter can paint bad things. So it's just like your mobile phone or your internet. You can make good use of that or you can make bad use of that. It's up to you. So people are making bad use of internet. So can you say that internet is bad? No, you cannot do that. A sword can be used for good things as well as bad things. So a sword can be used for murdering people. The same sword can be used for self-defense. There you are. So that is poesy. Poesy is also like that. Same with the physics and everything. When God's word is abused, it is either heresy or blasphemy. You can abuse, give wrong interpretation. Take God's word and give wrong interpretation. Understand that? You can take the story of Judas. He went out and commit suicide. And then you can say, you can also do that. That is wrong interpretation. If you, suppose you are a preacher, a wrong preacher, and you are preaching about the after effect of sins, or after effects of betraying your master. You can see, look at this Judas. He betrayed his master and he felt very bad about it, went out and hanged himself. So whenever you do something against somebody, you should also do like this. That is blasphemy. Or sorry, that won't be blasphemy. That is misinterpretation. It's a kind of heresy. Blasphemy is abusing God himself directly. So you can do that. Even the word of God can be abused. Then twice. So understand? So this is what you have to see. So poetry does not abuse. What is poetry doing? According to that is ekastika. That is the word. Ekastika. That means figuring for good things. Figuring forth good things. This is the business of ekastika. This is it. Not fantastica. Not fantastica. That is figuring for bad things. Fantastica is figuring for bad things. But ekastica is figuring for good things. That is, when you are playing chess, for example, what do? A piece of wood, you say, this bishop. Another is king. Are you telling a lie? Not at all. Because that is for making things lively and energetic. Some people complain about that. The poets are giving names to people. Names to people. See, is it better to say, once upon a time there lived a king. And the king was a wise. King was very wise. Instead of that, we can say, once upon a time there lived Cyrus. And Cyrus was a very wise king. Which is better? Or any other name for it. Once upon a time there lived the Emperor Humpty. Dumpty was his great friend. Both of them went to a school. They studied and they became friends. Instead of saying, once upon a time there was a boy, there was another boy nearby. Both of them became friends. They went to a school. Instead of that, you can say they went to some say, St. Xavier's or St. Joseph's, known to you, in Delhi, isn't it? Or a public school, or even JNU. See, JNU we can say. Instead of saying, they went to a certain university. Instead of that, you can say, they went to Jawaharlal Nehru University, which is better. And by saying this, does the writer of the story tell a lie? No. He's making it vivid and concrete. Isn't it? It's easy for you to remember. Instead of saying a certain king, certain people, certain boys, a certain boy defeated a monster. Instead of that, you can say, David defeated Goliath. That is a fact. Like that we can give you. Or say, oh, he is the David of our class. He is the Shakespeare of our class. But you say you can say he is a learned student, or he knows English literature. But when you say he is the Shakespeare, he is not Shakespeare. Are you telling a lie? No. So how can you say that they are principal lies? Poets are not principal lies. So we have answered three objections raised by this poet haters against sweet poetry. First is rhyming and versing. Rhyming and versing is very a positive quality if properly used, because it's very easy for it to memorize. And also it delights. Teaching, didactic and teaching. Also the teaching and delighting. Pleasant, no, it's pleasant. Secondly, we saw that there are more useful or fruitful knowledges than poesy. That is pettere principium, begging the question. And this is compared to philosophy and history. One of the most attractive advantages of poesy is that it moves you to action. Gnosis of what use? Praxis. It takes you from gnosis to praxis. And third one is the poets are the principal liars. We have already seen that. Chessmen are given name. Is it liar? When the stage Thebes is written, is it lying? It is fearing for, or means it is feeding your imagination. It makes you, for the time being, at least very creative. That's it. Isn't it? And then we saw poets don't affirm or deny. So how can they tell lies? It's not possible. They cannot. And again you can say, you can abuse or use anything in this world. Even the word of God you can abuse or use. You can abuse, a painter can abuse or use. Telling lies means making mistakes. Physicians make mistakes. Lawyers make mistakes. The law is an ass, we have already seen. And then afterwards there's a comedies. That is amorous concise. We have already answered that. Lyric is loaded with passions. That also we have answered. Then elegy is loss of mistress. Very narrow concept of elegy. And then heroic, there is entry of Cupid. He has come in somewhere. There's nothing wrong in that. Why? It's a man's wit. It's not the poesy that is to be blamed, but man who uses the ability. And finally we saw that poesy is ekastika. Ekastika. That is figuring for good things. And if you are using it for fantastica, that is wrong things. What is to be blamed is not poesy, but it is man's wit. Listen. So we have two more objections to be answered that we will answer in the next class. So till then, bye. I hope that you are following me, you are enjoying these classes. But I tell you very frankly one thing, that is, please do not think that this is a substitute for your reading that original essay written by Sir Philip Sidney himself, because it is so what is this, thick in references, in names, great names of from mythology, from his contemporary life, as a contemporary world, then his own experience, so beautifully written. See, one of the best pieces of modern English prose, we can say. And the next one is a better, means you will find it greater than or equal to this. I don't say greater. That is John Dryden's of dramatic poesy. Immediately after this, we will be taking that also. So, dear friends, have a nice time. Get a copy of this, read it. Otherwise, half of your life you consider to be lost. Do you want to be like that? No. You must. You are a student of literature. I am not, don't take it as an advice, but take it as a request from a teacher. Okay. Bye. Have a nice time. Take things easy.